Here is everything I watched in the fall anime season of 2023. Some spoilers ahead obviously, but I'll try not to talk about anything too important. Shield Hero is the anime where a guy gets a shield as a weapon and gets called a lame and a loser, and he bosses up and becomes good but is kind of a butthole because that's how he copes with everyone making fun of him. So basically, High School, the anime. I watched the first season of Shield Hero and thoroughly enjoyed it, so when I saw that a second season was coming, I was excited to see what they had in store, and yeah, that excitement didn't last very long. So surely it gets better after season 2, right? Well, season 3 is mid. I dropped this season, and I'll probably never watch the show ever again, even if it gets a season 4, which sounds like it murdered my family and spat in my food, but there's way too many minor things going on for me to keep up with and weigh if I should be paying attention or not. Nothing has impact because they go through the same dilemma as season 1. Everyone else is stupid except the protagonist guy. However, while the first season made Naofumi an underdog story with how much she was being screwed over by literally all of society, season 3 doesn't have anything of that nature that makes me care about his story. I don't necessarily hate it, I just don't have much investment in the series anymore. I also remembered how much I hate isekais, but we'll save that rant for another video. On to a way better fantasy show, Sousou no Frieren. It follows Frieren, an elf who was in an adventurous party that killed the demon lord. Elves in this world live way longer than humans. Since saving the world was basically over, Frieren didn't really have an excuse to be around her comrades, and her indifferent personality didn't let her connect with her party mates very well. Once they all died from growing old disease, Frieren realizes how much she enjoyed their company and sets out to reconnect with those memories. To be honest, I struggled to get into the show and keep up since it's slow and low energy at the start. Not saying that's a bad thing, it's just that there was nothing really pushing me to watch the next episode. But once you lay down on your dust collecting carpet and absorb yourself into the world, man, is this show absolutely amazing. It's the gentle giant of anime. Slow, moving, powerful, heavy, and above all else, it fills you with a sense of wonder. Sousou no Frieren tackles the concept of how time distorts meaning in life in the most elegant ways. It has fight scenes, but they don't have the same anxious tension as other shonen battles. These scenes struck awe within me more than anything. Definitely one of the best shows of the year for me. If you couldn't tell already, I'm a sucker for the fantasy genre. I watched season 1 of Goblin Slayer. The guy goes around and kills goblins, and that's the only thing he does. Every event is just a different situation, but he's killing goblins with his party. He's really into killing goblins. You could call him the Goblin Slayer. What differentiates Goblin Slayer from other isekais is that the world is horrifying and gruesome. So basically, High School, the anime. Goblins are an enemy that do crimes so appalling, it'll get this video demonetized just by me saying them, so that's how you know they're really bad. Anyways, season 2 of Goblin Slayer is him killing more goblins. Yeah, that's about it. I watched a good portion of it, but honestly, nothing felt different from season 1, so I kinda grew bored of it. Alright, this is the last fantasy-related show. The premise of Boushoku no Berserk is that everyone is born into the world with a special ability, but the main character's ability is called Gluttony, and it sucks ass until he realizes it absorbs monster abilities or something. I didn't bother paying attention too much because it's bad. The show is bad. That's all you really need to know. I dropped it after 2 episodes. I thought Spy Family Season 2 was gonna be safe because it was kinda just the same slice of life goofiness that Season 1 was. Not that I don't enjoy the show, I just thought that it wouldn't do anything to break my expectations, but it actually was way better than I expected. The story follows a family of 3 who all come from special backgrounds as they try pretending to be a normal family to avoid having the other members of the family figure out their true identity. There's the father, Lloyd Forger, who is the world's #1 spy, the mother, Yor Forger, who is an elite assassin, and then you have Anya, a telepathic kid. Season 1 of Spy Family mainly gave Anya and Lloyd the spotlight, while Yor was kinda just there to get drunk and be silly, and I was kinda disappointed in how Yor didn't get much development, but Season 2 delivered what I was asking for. The cruise arc of the season had Yor boss up and go crazy against some enemy goons, and obviously the animation for that entire fight scene was pretty awesome. But what I especially liked was Yor affirming her reasons for becoming and continuing to be an assassin. Awesome show. Undead Unluck is a show I have mixed feelings on. People in the world have cool superpowers which work by negating a certain property. For example, you have Andy, whose ability can negate himself dying through the regeneration of body parts. Call his power Undead. Or Fuko, whose ability can negate the natural luck of people by touching them. Call her power Unluck. And now you have the dynamic duo Undead Unluck. The show follows the two of them as Andy wants to be obliterated from this world and needs to rizz up Furuko because the more she's attracted to the person, the more powerful her unluck ability works. It's a weird premise, but things start smoothing out as the show goes on. The cast of characters actually have a lot of diverse personalities you don't see in many shows, but for some reason, it doesn't feel like they're cohesive and have good chemistry. While the fight scenes are interesting in the abilities of each person and how they use them, they carry a little energy or tension that normal fight scenes actually have. It's oddly dry. Undead Unluck is an interesting show, but it's missing just a few things that bring everything together. I actually enjoyed Dr. Stone New World more than the previous arcs, mostly because it was less Senku coming up with science gadgets and fun facts, and more Ibara being absolutely evil for no goddamn reason. In this arc, Senku and his team need to defeat Ibara, the ruler of an island with the petrification beam. Senku and the gang are all super competent as a team, so in order to give Ibara equal footing, they made him very cautious and crafty. What made this season fun was all the Death Note-esque espionage, spying, planning, and everything going wrong for both sides. My main gripe with the show is still the same though, which is that all the characters have one singular trait attached to them, and that's basically their entire personality. So basically high school, the anime. Only 2 or 3 characters out of the entire roster have depth, which makes me sound like I need every anime to be a 13-foot diving pool at the recreation center, but things kinda get grating when the characters only fit inside their cardboard box of a personality instead of being malleable. Also, on a side note, can we fucking get rid of this guy? I get it, you're supposed to be the comedic relief, but there isn't any comedy or relief when he gets screen time. It's quite the opposite, actually. All I feel is cringe and hatred for this stupid fuck. Apothecary Diaries is an anime that takes place during Imperial China. Mao Mao is an apothecary who works in the women district of China. She gets kidnapped and is sold off to the rear palace and solves a bunch of mysteries while being there. What makes this show really shine is its protagonist, Mao Mao. She stands out as a character by trying not to stand out, if that makes any sense. While she does have a big brain and is one of the very few people that are able to solve these mysteries, she doesn't go flaunting her intelligence like other detective shows. Mao Mao is apathetic to a lot of hobbies and interests other people would find charming. The only times she really brings out her emotions are when she's doing what she loves, which is medicine, and when shit hits the fan. The way Mao Mao deals with predicaments comes with an extreme degree of pragmatism to a fault, and Jinshi, who is a Genshin Impact male character high-ranking eunuch, is there to keep her in check. And do some sillies, too. What makes the show for me isn't really the detective work around the mysteries, it's Mao Mao's character and how she processes all of these events happening around her. Kamonohashi Ron's forbidden deductions centers around a police officer who wants to make it up the ranks but doesn't have the smarts to solve murder cases. He teams up with the detective, Ron, who is the ultimate detective genius but is banned from deducing anything because of his condition of being a low-tier god descendant. The solution is for the police officer guy to act like he found the solution to the mystery while Ron feeds him the info. I actually really liked the dynamic between these two. Police officer guy is very emotionally driven to keep Ron in check of telling and getting criminals to commit the unalive, but the mystery and deduction part of the show did not feel fun or tense, which is what the anime is kinda based around. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You is an anime I did not expect to be a banger. It follows Rentaro, a guy who happened to be rejected for the 100th time. God said, let me fix that. And now he has 100 potential soulmates out there in the world for him. But he can't just pick and choose. As soon as Rentaro and a girl recognize their soulmates, if he doesn't wifey them up soon, they'll die. With such an over-the-top, dumb, fun premise like that, there's no way you can take this anime seriously, and it's awesome because everything just gets sillier and sillier. Rentaro needs to keep every girl happy, which seems like a problem for jealousy and cheating to rise up, but because he is such a dedicated and honest character to making all his girlfriends happy, these problems poof out of existence. I wouldn't call the anime a rom-com. There isn't any real-life romance in this show, and if you're looking for it here, you're looking in the wrong place. The anime is primarily a comedy based around romantic relationships, not necessarily exploring these feelings like any other rom-com anime would. And if you don't find the comedy aspect funny, then you probably won't like it. The humor is very self-aware of how unrealistic anime is. The fact that it knows this though means that it can dial up every bit to 11, making it a hilarious watch. Finally, we have you. I already covered the premise of this show in a previous video, so you can watch that after this one, but to sum everything up, it's garbage. It became one of those shows that I skim through every week to hate watch and see if anything got better. It didn't. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.